Hey, Gemini, Mel, Intuitive Coach here. Excited to bring in your August 2025 love and family reading. If you are interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. I am seeing here, Gemini, a touchless key entry. For some of you, you could be moving, relocating. Maybe you're giving a family member a key to your home. This could also be travel. Maybe you are heading to an Airbnb and there may be touchless entry. All right, that is coming up. You do have the keys as one of your main themes for the month, which talks about important choices. I also see that you are able to unlock an important discovery here in the month of August, which makes sense because we have that 8-8 portal showing up, and I will do a separate video on that portal, but I feel collectively it is going to help us shift into this new timeline that we've been preparing for. We have the opportunity to make a new choice. That's what timelines are. And I see here that some of you have felt like you were straddling the in-between, not quite out of the old, not quite in the new, but I feel like it's been a gradual shift here. Bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's the complete new beginning. You have planted the seeds long ago, and I feel like there has been a lot taking place here below the surface. And now you're able to see the growth showing up in your physical material world. Some of you are going to connect with new individuals, new people. I am getting the word connections showing up. For others of you, you may be strengthening your relationship by taking it to the next level or trying something new that you never have before. I'm also getting for some of you, there could be travel showing up here, or you're planning for travel because you have the canoe card as one of your key themes, and this is an upcoming adventure. So you could be preparing to go maybe camping. Some of you have a family event that is showing up. Maybe it's a birthday party. It could be a wedding, a reunion, or some form of celebration, some sort of meeting I'm getting here. Maybe you meet up every year and this is something that you all do together. It could even be a kayaking excursion here. Some of you may be heading to the mountains. Perhaps you're heading to someplace that has a lot of greenery, a lot of wildlife. So this is very beautiful. Some of you are really connecting with nature. You're getting outside more. Perhaps you're doing a little bit more hiking, spending time in your garden. So this is a wonderful energy showing up. You feel more vitalized as well. I feel like you have more life force energy that is allowing you to do the things that you love. I am hearing the name Colleen. Perhaps that is your name, someone that you are engaging with, or someone even in the spirit realm. Now we have the keys showing up here, which is about important choices. And I do see here that you are going to make important choices in the month of August that help you feel more vitalized. It feels like these are healthier options for you. And they're showing me a garden here. So some of you may be symbolically tending to your inner garden. Okay, this is about you weeding out what no longer suits you, what no longer works, or what's taking up energy that isn't going to be fulfilling. And you are focusing on new things. Yeah, new energies pop into the surface with that Ace of Pentacles. This is about physical health and well-being. So you could even be starting a new hobby, meeting someone new through this new hobby of yours. Or if you are in a relationship or a marriage, it feels like the both of you are visiting a new place, you're visiting a new hobby, there's a new goal that you have together, you could be traveling together. It feels like this new vibration comes in and it shifts everything. It allows you to be able to express yourself in ways that perhaps you haven't felt for some time. Now you also have the birdhouse. The birdhouse here focuses on their root chakra, right? Safety and security. Perhaps you felt like a homebody, and that may be why there's excitement around an upcoming adventure. And for others of you that are going through something challenging, I feel like you are at the tail end of it. It feels like there's a bit of freedom coming in because the birdhouse here, yes, it represents safety and security, but you've had to do a lot of work to get to this space, to get to this place. Some of you may even be doing some remodeling projects around the home. You may be doing some outdoor work at this time because you can see that that birdhouse is a little bit rickety here. So I feel like improvements made around that root chakra will benefit you, will benefit the partnerships around you, and the incoming connections that you do have available here, especially over the next couple of months. It feels like that root chakra has been shattered at times. Maybe there was something in your past that had caused you to not trust, to not feel safe in your own skin, to not feel secure within a relationship. Now, I'm also getting someone had suffered or maybe is currently going through a health issue. They're actually showing me the breast cancer awareness sign or the breast cancer sign. So cancer could be significant here in some way. Maybe a loved one in spirit is connecting with you through dreams. Maybe they had crossed over from cancer. Perhaps you have fought that battle and you have overcome it here. I feel like there's a second chance at life here. Or if this is someone in spirit, they are guiding you to open yourself up fully to life, whatever that may mean for you. Maybe it's making a difficult decision. Gemini, maybe it is about you trusting in your own self. Now, the root chakra is formed between the ages of 0 and 7. So perhaps there was a situation that occurred as a child that maybe you've buried in your subconscious. This could be how you felt when maybe mom and dad got a divorce. Perhaps some of you lost a parent at a young age, or there was someone who was emotionally, physically, or mentally absent or unavailable when you needed them the most. I see that you have new support coming in or a strengthening of an existing support team. Bottom of the deck, you do have the knotted rope. This is a lasting connection, commitment, partnership that you are either in or are calling in. I feel like this is long term. This is something that feels very committed here. It feels like there could even be marriage for some of you, or you are currently married. Maybe there's been some grief. Some of you may even be widowed, but I feel like you are trying to move forward with your life. I feel like you're trying to tend to the seeds that you've planted and you're starting to see grow, and you want to focus on new growth. That's why you are pruning out the old. So diving into your energy here, you have the 6 of Wands. This is beautiful. As I mentioned, there could be an event, maybe a birthday party or a major celebration in the month of August. The 6 of Wands is about success, victory, accomplishment. I feel like you have been working very, very hard, especially spiritually, especially emotionally and within. Oftentimes we forget that we do a lot of inner work because oftentimes our work is reflected externally, and that's what we look to. And this is external validation in some way, but I also see that you are congratulating yourself. Your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors are congratulating you for some sort of triumph. It feels like you did it. Like you got to this point, and some of you started to doubt if you'd ever get to this point. And I feel like this is a big victory. This is a big win for you, Gemini. Now, what is crossing your path? What is the challenge, the emotion, the expectation, or even the tension? You do have here the World. The World is not only wisdom, it's completion. And remember what I said earlier about kind of straddling, feeling like you're not quite out of the old, or at least I felt that. I'm not sure if I said it, but it feels like there's a cusp of a new beginning. Yeah, because we have a 10 and we have an ace. So you're still wrapping up maybe an old role that you have played and fully starting to integrate into this new version of yourself. This is about you living life unapologetically you. This is about you feeling more comfortable in your own skin, in your relationship dynamics. You have the wisdom here, and there's been a very long journey that you have been on, but I feel like you are starting to see that new growth coming up. You're starting to see the opportunities that you've been wishing for, longing for, waiting for. So this can be the energy here of graduation, soul graduation. It can be marriage, new beginnings, freedom. Perhaps you were in a dynamic with someone that you are releasing. Okay, this is about the world as your oyster and being reminded that you have choice. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but you have the key. And I feel like that's where the world comes in to remind you that you hold the key to your future, to this new beginning. Now, what is in the subconscious here? What is the root? 5 of Wands, some sort of competition, some sort of competitiveness, maybe argumentative energy, conflict. The 5 of Wands can even be other people involved, which we'll look at external influences here in a moment. But it feels like you may have been at a crossroads with another individual at some point in your life. Maybe you're still connected to this individual. It feels like there was a conversation that may replay out in your mind over and over that someone had said to you hastily. Someone had said to you while they were hurt or while they were angry. It feels like it wasn't said when someone was thinking or feeling clearly. I feel like this energy was because of some wounds. And I've been talking a lot about this with the Leo energy showing up. I want you to ask yourself, Gemini, am I manifesting? Am I creating? Am I communicating from my wound or from my heart? And this situation feels more like criticism, okay? It feels more like unnecessary conflict, drama that doesn't really need to happen. Sometimes we fall into this trap of getting to this point where we are fighting and then we don't even realize, like, why are we arguing or what are we fighting over or why is this still happening? And so something deep in the subconscious has planted seeds that feel like drama maybe is a default, feels like competition is a normal for you. And I feel like that's the energy that you are shifting. Instead of feeling like this is a default, that life has to be challenging in a relationship or something has to be difficult for you, you're reprogramming your mind. And I feel like you're pruning those weeds. You're pulling out the weeds of that garden and you're going to start to see some new blossom, new growth here. So what is in the recent past? Something here was under scrutiny. I have a feeling this was your own mind taking a look at some of the energies of the subconscious that were playing out. It feels like you made them conscious. You really went deep for some of you and you're like, what's the root of this situation? Why is there this residual conflict, or why do I feel like I'm at a crossroads here? And the Page of Swords, he's like the private investigator. If he opens his eyes to it, if he starts to research, if he starts to investigate, he is going to find answers. Now, for others of you, the reason why this drama had existed in the past is because perhaps something was under the microscope, something was being scrutinized. Perhaps you felt like you couldn't trust. Sometimes the Page of Swords does have to do with trust or needing to embrace intellectual curiosity. This can be snooping. It can be gossiping. It can be spying. And I feel like that energy only caused for drama, because they say if you go looking, chances are you will find something, because the initial root of it is something is wrong. Something doesn't quite feel right here. And I just feel like the Page of Swords is needing to have an important conversation, an honest, trustworthy conversation between you and potentially yourself, or between you and someone that you cared about here. Now, what is being brought to your conscious awareness? What do you know, or what do you want here? You have the Ten of Swords. You want to get over some sort of betrayal, some sort of heartache, something that has caused you or your family grief, and you want to move on from this. The Ten of Swords can be a rock bottom. Some of you may have seen someone go through addictions or recovery, and there has been pain. I see that, but you understand that life has pain, that we go through challenges, but you also know that there's a silver lining, that you're not going to feel the heaviness of something for forever. There may be an ache of the loss. There may be a scar that is wounded over, but you have the opportunity to move forward here and to embrace new life, new beginnings, new relationships, new contracts. You see that the tears are watering here at the flower. I feel like the flower is what is blossoming here with this Ace of Pentacles. So through some past tears, you are a better version of yourself, Gemini. You have come a long way. Yes, there's been tears that have been shed. Yes, there's been pain. There's been betrayal. There's been endings. There's been loss. But I feel like that makes you a more compassionate, loving individual. Don't let the Ten of Swords allow you to become bitter. As I always say, we have a choice. There's the choice card. To let life harden us, right? To become bitter or to become better. And I feel like you're choosing the latter. Here in the near future, what's emerging is change. You have changed. You are no longer the same Gemini that you were 5 years ago, even 5 months ago. The Wheel of Fortune brings in a renewal, brings in a turning point here, a new cycle. And I feel like this is a destined event, or destined, maybe not just an event, although I do see something quite profound showing up. For those of you that are single, say yes to the invitation. Whatever this upcoming adventure is, you could meet the love of your life. For those of you that are partnered, I feel like there is change coming up in this partnership, but it's change for the better. Even if it feels scary, even if it feels like your safety and security is dismantling in some way, you are moving forward and trusting in the process, because this is part of your destiny. This is part of your fate. This is the direction that you are meant to go in. I love the Wheel of Fortune showing up here, because it means that you have the ability to step out of a loop, to step out of a pattern that perhaps has replayed out in your life time and time again. Or maybe you've been on this long journey for quite some time with that world, and now you have the ability here to graduate from it. All right, let's take a look at you, yourself. Your emotional availability, perhaps your openness, or even your defense. You have the Death here. Yeah, you have transformed due to some sort of ending or loss that has occurred in your life. You will never be the old version of you. And I feel like that old default mechanism that you fell back into in the past, maybe of not trusting, scrutinizing everything, maybe picking things apart, or maybe attracting other energies that felt like that was happening to you. I feel like you have a sense of clarity. It feels like there's peace of mind showing up here, because the Page of Swords, there's not always a lot of peace of mind, because his mind is going a million miles per minute, right? This feels feels like something you are trying to figure out. Like, why did this happen? How did this happen? How can I gain closure? How can I move on? How can I release? How can I fully shed the weight of this? The death is profound, and it's actually a card that is feared by people who do not understand the true alchemical process of death. And personally, it's one of my, I don't want to say favorites, but in a way, it's one of the most profound transformational energies that I feel transform our lives. And so when death shows up, because it is inevitable, death will show up, endings will show up, we will change. And some of you may have been in a marriage where your spouse has met 10 different sides of you, right? Because you are not the same person that you were maybe when you married, as in you've grown, you've evolved. Maybe that person has as well. Maybe you've come together. Maybe your love has strengthened. For others of you, perhaps it feels like your person is unrecognizable. A lot of you have gone through divorce. A lot of you have gone through death. And I see that you are waking up to realizing that even through death, there's life. And that's why there is a newborn. That's why there is a skull. And so a new opportunity is coming in here for you to really allow yourself to feel complete to some extent, okay? For you to open yourself up to the highest form of love. And I feel like it begins with yourself. Now, the external influences here, Gemini, we actually have your major arcana, the Magician. So the external influences include family dynamics, societal shifts. It can be what the collective feels. And I feel like you are your own magician here. You're saying, wait a second, I am the one that is the alchemist of my own story. I don't have to listen to the negative feedback of what people think I should do, because I'm the creator of my own life. And I feel like you're able to lean into the positive support that external influences have over you, because some of you in the past have been manipulated. All right. You have been manipulated. You have been, I'm getting gaslit or blocked or cut off in some way. And that really did a number on your mental or emotional, even physical health. Perhaps you felt like you had to cut off dynamics in order for you to regain your magic, regain your own power. The Magician is someone who is very, very much a leader, very much a positive communicator. That's something you've been learning. You've been learning how to communicate effectively, speak up for yourself, to take a situation that feels a bit sour and alchemize it, turn it into something sweet. Kudos to you. You are listening. You have this hawk that is above her here. This is about clarity, strength, power. You may even see signs of animals, specifically maybe a hawk, a crow, perhaps a turkey vulture, an eagle could be showing up for you. Someone could even have a tattoo of one of those winged creatures on their body. Now, what is the hope, the fear, the wound? There's the strength energy here. I've just talked last collective reading of a dream that I had a few nights ago, a few mornings ago. And the dream was between a powerful bear and a crocodile, where the two were about to go at it underwater. And I was the witness. I was the observer. I was standing on a dock, and I couldn't see what was happening behind, or I should say underneath the water, because it felt a little bit murky. I couldn't quite see. But what I did have was the ability to place an underwater camera down into the waters. And it was a short period later, the bear had come up to the surface, and I knew that the bear had won. And when I asked Spirit, let's dive into this. What does this mean? I immediately was shown the strength card in tarot. And I knew that it wasn't just a message for me, it was for the collective, because the bear represents our intuition, our divine feminine, our protection, our nurturing qualities, self-love. And the crocodile represents our fears, our shadows, our wounds. And it feels like we are in a collective shift. And this 8-8 portal is significant. This is the strength card number 8. And so this portal is activating this shift within us all, where we're able to take a look at our fears and fight for our own strength, our own protection, our own compassion. This is about you being kind to yourself. And even though you have faced some shadow times of your life, you're not going to let them drown you. You're not going to let them keep you down. It feels like you are protecting your peace at all costs. And that's what the strength is representing here as your hopes and fears and wounds. You don't want to get buried. You don't want to drown in those wounds and feel like you are just existing in this earthly plane. You don't want to feel like you're coming so close to the edge, so close to love, so close to freedom, whatever you want in matters of the heart, just to be straddling that line and never fully be able to open up to what it is that you want. Now, what is the outcome here? What is part of the resolution? You have the 9 of Wands. Resistance. It feels like you're releasing tension, releasing resistance, working on calming the nervous system. Some of you may have put an end to situations where you were hitting a brick wall. Now, this can be the wounded warrior. But one of the beautiful things of the 9 of Wands is they have the ability to overcome obstacles. This is a 9. 9s are completions. You will persevere, Gemini, with strength, which you have here in your hopes. You don't have to self-doubt yourself. You don't have to fall back into the old default of fight or flight, right? This is about you breaking through the brick wall here in some capacity. This is about you being able to open up. You see that there's a shadow. So some of you have been working immensely on this shadow, and the arms are crossed, which that type of body language can be a closed off energy. And I feel like you're walking away from people who have closed you out in some way, okay, even mentally, emotionally. If someone is not available to you, but yet you keep knocking, hoping that they're going to open the door, I feel like you are finally saying, okay, I know this is difficult, but I deserve someone who is going to invite me in. I deserve this new beginning here. And that's what's showing up. You know your worth. You know that you deserve love in all capacities here. So anything that has been resistant in your life, it feels like you are determined here to embrace newness. Yeah, I love this. External hurdles are being overcome. It feels like you are shifting with the Wheel of Fortune here and the Ace of Pentacles and even the 10 of Swords. It feels like you're shifting out of the obstacle phase that you have been in a dynamic, and you're moving into the make it happen phase. Like, this is the time where you're starting to see the evidence. You're starting to see the proof of the magic that exists within you, Gemini, and all around you. Let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. Blessed. Yes, you are so very blessed. A lot of you have been connecting to your ancestral wisdom, the angelic realm, your spirit guides. Number 22. 22, I believe, is a master number. And 2s are powerful. They represent partnerships and choices as well. Something wonderful. It may even be unearned or even unexpected. Grace that is an unforeseen gift from spirit. You are moving towards a deepening of intimacy in a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. There's that death energy here. This is also a sign that, even more important, you are being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. Absolutely. And I see that part of that Six of Wands is being recognized for all that you do, because some of you may have felt like your efforts have gone unrecognized. Perhaps you've been in partnerships, or you are currently in a partnership where you do a lot for your family, and maybe you don't always get that thank you or that approval or that recognition that would be nice once in a while to get. Not that is going to complete you, but it's nice to have that reciprocity. Like, I scratch my back, you scratch mine. We're a team. We're in this together. If that is something you are struggling with, it just feels like there will be a shift that does allow for more balance, more reciprocity to occur. All right, Gemini, let's get a crystal spirit. So at this time, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Hold it for the count of 3, 2, 1, and release through the mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you, Gemini, to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be a crystal that you are familiar with and maybe even know the name of. Your crystal could hold a specific shape, size, or color. Perhaps it's giving off frequencies of unconditional love, strength, protection, or peace. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your crystal, whatever it was that you felt or seen in your mind's eye, drop it in the comment section below. I will enter you into the free reading giveaway, where I draw one winner and post on the first of the month right here on the community tab. So be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. Okay. Now, some of you could be seeing a soft pink. I am getting here morganite, but this could be rhodonite or rose quartz. So there's definitely pink energy coming through. So drop yours in the comment section. We have here sodalite, which has speckles of the rose around it, which is pink, but sodalite is a powerful blue energy, which is about the throat chakra. It is about expression. And I feel like you are wanting to communicate, express yourself in some way. Now, sodalite brings with it the energy here of intentionality, conscious awareness, an awakened state, and inner knowing. It's around self-confidence, clear expression, and intentions. And your relationship message, Gemini, is this: healing doesn't require perfection, but it does require that you remain awake to the truth that you are a divine, beautiful being, always connected to the universe, who wants the very best for you. Spiritual amnesia will send you circling back to old patterns you vowed never to repeat. The appearance of sodalite spirit is a reminder to reestablish your sense of connection so that the universe can guide you to where you need to be. Do not forget your worth, your values, and your truth. If you are unsure of the next move to make, meditate. As you remain present in the moment, you will more easily avoid spiritual narcolepsy and falling back into the old ways. We talked about the patterns with that Wheel of Fortune. You have the ability to break out of a cycle. That is a choice. That is a new timeline. And that's all timelines are choices. Sodalite teaches us to be here now rather than lost in the past or gazing into the future. Meditating with this stone allows us to experience the wisdom of our journey thus far. There's the world. All right, there's the world, and it has the word wisdom right on it. It encourages non-attachment and integration of all experiences, all of life's ups and downs, helping us to make choices. There's the choice card, in the moment from a higher perspective. That flows beautifully into your reading here. So let's get a final message here for you, Gemini. Ooh, that one came out right away. So this could be, two of them. You have forgiveness. Who do you need to forgive? Is it yourself or another? We are all doing the best we can with the knowledge we know. By forgiving, we set ourselves free from the past. This is an action step that you can take to come back home to you. What was the gift that came from the past experience? How did you grow from it? Write it down. Then bless and release it, which I love because you have the bless card here. And this is a mantra that you can incorporate or maybe even say to yourself or repeat after me. My life is unfolding for me. I am not defined by my past. I forgive myself and others. I set myself and them free. And then lastly here, Gemini, be unapologetically yourself. Booyah. Yes, it's normal to feel distracted by what everyone else is doing or becoming. Be mindful not to get caught up in that trap, especially with that pattern dynamic of the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Wands. You are unique, you're magnetic, you're luminous in your own way. You were not made to be like everyone else. Own who you are. That's the magician energy that we talked about. Put your blinders on and stay in your own lane. Come back home to you. Today is your day. How can you show up and own your day? Are you focused on others or yourself? Your mantra, Gemini, I stand confidently in my power. My time is now. Yes, it is, Gemini. That is what I have for you, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Lots of love to you.